Hey, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the designer and developer from South Africa. In this video, I want us to talk about the myth of a folder structure. I'm not sure if the myth is the right word, but the misleading aspect of a folder structure. What am I talking about the folder structure? If you get into React or Next.js or React Native, we talk so much about the best folder structure. Why am I saying this thinking it's an anti-pattern and it's misleading? Let's just take a real life example. For instance, I have created an application which is finance.com. What does finance.com do? It's just an invoicing and a quoting application which is clean, straight to the point, and it solves the problem. It also got some advanced features like the job card, like sending links to your customers, and they can convert the quotation to invoices via those links. So basically, if you want to know more about it, check the link in the description below, and then you can sign up. Okay, so we've got this problem. So this is the problem domain. So let's say we've been hired, okay, to solve this problem, to create this application. We've been hired to architect it, to engineer it. Are we going to ask ourselves which is the best folder structure, React folder structure, or Next.js folder structure, or PHP folder structure? Or we might ask ourselves, what is the problem that we are trying to solve here? And that will dictate or determine how the folder structure is going to be. So I hope you see the difference. So if you focus on the folder structure, then you will focus on the framework. Okay, you will need to know what is the best folder structure for React or Next.js. Okay, a framework, it's some sort of a perfect system, let me say. Okay, it has been designed, it has already been developed. So you've got no business in the framework. Your challenge or your task is to solve the problem. Look at the problem domain. What is it that you are trying to solve here? And then come up with a folder structure that will solve the problem. Okay, so let's get into it. So here in finance, okay, this will be the, what can I say? This will be the best folder structure or architecture that will solve this problem. And I would like to believe this is the most important skill in the industry. Okay, can you solve the problem at hand? So let's look at it. So what will be the best folder structure for finance? Okay, so let's draw this. Okay, just to give you a context, I have used Next.js. Okay, but this has got nothing to do with Next.js. We are solving this problem. Some of the things will be Next specific. Okay, so what is it that we want to do here? So in Next, there will be an app folder here. Okay, so let's talk about the things that are going to be like needed in this problem domain. Obviously, we are dealing with users, so there is authentication. So let's just say that here we will need to have some sort of a folder authentication. Okay, and then we are, after authentication, we need a root folder for our type of users. Okay, let's quickly identify our type of users. We are going to have, let me say, number one, a super user, number two, and a normal user. Okay, a super user, it's me in finance, where it's my dashboard to understand the stats of the application, the subscriptions, how they are being paid, how to revoke some users. If I can see somebody is, what can I say, abusing the system or my application, I can check here. So as you can see, this is a super user. And then there is you, somebody who's going to, what can I say, a small business, an entrepreneur, or a hustler. You are using the system. So there are two types of users. So let's put this into perspective. As you can see, we are not talking about Next.js folder structure or React folder structure or React Native folder structure. You need not to think about the framework. Okay, you need to solve the problem at hand. So we are going to have a super user. So we need, let's call this user some sort of a root folder. Okay, we are going to have a root folder here. This represents the actual user. Okay, the person that we are solving a problem for. But at the same time, we've got, let's say here, let's say super. Okay, so this is us. Okay, so given this, remember I said to you, there are some links to certain documents. So meaning that if you've created a code, you can just share a link to your client. When the client clicks that link, they will be taken to a public route that shows the document. And in there, they can accept the quotation. And then automatically that quotation will be converted into an invoice. So meaning that there are some shared documents, okay? Let's call this, in fact, every shared document has to be a public route, okay? Some routes might be protected, okay, because if you don't have, let's say, an account, you are not allowed to hit this. I hope you understand that. So let's have a folder called public here. What does this public means? This means that all the folders that are here, all the routes that are here, all the pages that are here are public by default, because there's no need for you to, what can I say, to be logged in or authenticated in order for you to use these routes. Okay, so what an example of these, let's say shared. Okay, these will be shared code, invoices, and all of the things that are going to be shared. So as you can see, what else could be here under shared? In finance.com, I've got a page for a company profile. So meaning that once you set up your company, you don't need to create your own profile. So there will be some sort of a profile here. Okay, let me end here for now. So as you can see, we have just created a folder structure that solves this problem. Here on YouTube, we just come up with the best Next.js folder and whatever. So in closing, or some sort of in wrapping this up, coming up with an architecture that solves the problem. Okay, now there is something called a middleware. Okay, in Next.js, it's called a middleware. Okay, a middleware is the one that is responsible for some sort of making sure that people access the folders which they have some sort of the rights to, you know, they are authenticated to, or it's here to protect some of these routes. Okay, so let's just quickly do something on that. So as you can see here, this is public, everyone can get here, and here this is some sort of a root folder. So meaning that now, how am I going to represent public and private? Let me just use this instead. Okay, my apologies about that. So if it's public, let's let it be P. Okay, and this also public. Okay, what determines this? It's the middleware. So this is public, and here this is somewhat a private. Okay, you cannot just get in here as a normal user. Okay, and what else? This is the root. Where is the super user? And this one is private. So let me wrap this up. The middleware will make these public. The middleware will make this public. The same middleware will make this private, and the same middleware will make this private. Matthew Msingati, the designer and developer from South Africa. I'm just realizing that these are the things that we don't talk about on YouTube or in the industry, and you really need this. Where did I notice that these are needed? I used not to have a lot of experience in the development industry, but well, as I was getting into it, I just realized that even big tech companies, they don't have this. What is the danger of neglecting this? Number one, their code is not maintainable. You can't maintain it. If you are somebody from a different, you are a new developer, you can't maintain it because there is no structure. If you like content like this, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the like. And also don't forget, guys, if you know someone who is a business person who might want to use finance.com, please share the link. See you on the next one.